Among the complaints I've heard about the sequel trilogy, the two that I want to address in this video deal with the Skywalker men. There's a group of fans, to say the least, that isn't happy with the manner that these characters have been handled, and more specifically in The Last Jedi. With Kylo Ren, there are two complaints I've heard. The first is he's immature and whiny. I would say, like the other Skywalkers, he is driven by his emotions and unfortunately has no one to properly guide him. This makes perfect sense when you examine his past. His parents feared that he might follow a similar path as his grandfather, and they sent him off to train with Luke. As the darkness consumes him, he awakens one night to what he believes is his uncle attempting to kill him in his sleep. He then leaves his family behind him and allies himself with a master that continually berates him. Troubling past aside, he also has a tremendous legacy to live up to since he is an ascendant of the Skywalker bloodline. This is evident even before he was born. In Aftermath Empire's End, Leia senses the strength of the light in her unborn son. However, Luke warns her the brighter the light, the darker the shadow it casts. To me, this inner conflict is the most compelling aspect of Kylo Ren. He feels the call to light time and time again, but since his perspective and spirit has been twisted by Snoke, he rejects it. However, the weakest complaint I've heard about Kylo Ren is that he's not imposing or threatening without his mask and should have never taken it off. Putting aside you don't want to cover one of your leading actors' faces in the film, I would argue that seeing him as less of a threat is the point of seeing Kylo removing his helmet. The Force Awakens is about the key characters shedding the facade of how they're seen by those around them and becoming who they really are. Abrams expresses this in the commentary of the interrogation scene, where you can only see a faceless monster when Kylo is wearing his mask and is surprised to see an almost prince-like face when it's removed. There are other complaints fans have about Kylo, but I've already touched on a few of them in past videos, so I'm going to move on to what is probably the biggest issue fans have with The Last Jedi. There are many videos and threads online about how Luke's arc in the film ruined the character. Even Mark Hamill has said that he fundamentally disagrees with the direction Rian Johnson was taking Luke. But for me, Johnson succeeded in giving me a version of Luke Skywalker that I didn't think I wanted. Sure, most fans are disappointed that we didn't get the lightsaber-wielding Jedi Master. Even I will admit that part of me still wants to see that version of Luke Skywalker on the big screen again. But we often forget that this character has been through a lot in the 30 years since the last time we saw him in Return of the Jedi. When we learn the full truth behind what happens between him and Ben, his self-exile fits the core elements of the character. Luke has always had a tremendous amount of compassion for his friends and family. So when he almost kills his nephew out of pure instinct, he not only gives Ben the final push down his dark path, but he also betrays the trust of his sister Leia. These actions of abandonment might not be the traditional actions of a Jedi, but what Luke experiences in The Last Jedi is an arc that every hero experiences. In almost every property, there's a time where a hero feels like their efforts are a detriment to society and the world would be better off without them. Luke realized that in his failure with Ben, he was falling prey to the same hubris that plagued the Jedi Order that came before him. So often we put these characters on pedestals, we forget even the greatest Jedi Masters aren't perfect and are fallible. Even Luke, with all that he's learned from Obi-Wan, Yoda, and the Sacred Jedi texts, had one final lesson to learn at the end of the film. This scene with Force Ghost Yoda is probably my favorite from The Last Jedi. This last piece of wisdom that Yoda offers Luke is one of the most relatable lessons in all of Star Wars. How we should not only learn from our failures, but pass that wisdom on to the next generation so they don't make the same mistakes. So that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, comment, and share. Consider following me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe as I'll be talking anything Star Wars, and remember to hit the bell icon to be notified when a new video goes up. Thanks as always for watching, and may the Force be with you.